So, I am well aware that so many people know about American Alchemy and Jesse Michaels and his consistently fucking great content, right? Seems impossible. I don't know how he does it. Maybe he has a whole team, but it seems like it's just him, and he's very humble as well. Has some very admiring beliefs, and yeah, he just believes in all the good stuff, right? He has a lot of evidence that leads to him forming his theories, a lot of good content. I definitely recommend subscribing to both of us, right? Subscribe notifications on if you enjoy updates like this. We're going to be talking about Eric Davis and what he said on an episode of American Alchemy. So this is going to be a good video. Stay till the end, because obviously the best parts are at the end. Always, we're trying to get that watch time, trying to grow the channel, daily uploads. Guys, make sure you join this community, because we're growing and we're fucking out here, yo. We're going to be taking over real soon, so make sure you share. That helps you absolute most, okay? So yeah, today's going to be an interesting one. Let me know what you think. Like to show you support this type of content, and let's watch.
If you were asked to appear before Congress under oath, would you willingly do that?
The only way I'll testify, actually, the reality is in a classified setting. DOD can come after me. What happened to Dave Grusch? Physically harassed at his home and in his vehicles after he filed his whistleblower complaint. It was before he ever testified. All I have was this.
So I think we all know that there were some retaliations from the government / deep state, right? But David Grusch never went into detail how or why and what happened exactly, but he said they showed him that they could physically touch him at any point, right? So now Eric Davis is mentioning in his car, probably with his wife, I don't even know, because he mentioned something in that regard as well. And now at his house, you know, so it's basically everywhere, and he was getting some real retaliation. And we haven't heard from David Grusch for so long. I wonder where he is and if he's all right? So if anyone knows anything more than I do, please share and we'll do an update, etc.
Stuff that I accumulated and gathered going up through the OSAP and ATIP. And that's how I met Dave Grusch. Right. Jay Stratton introduced me to Dave. He was the NRO liaison officer to the UAPTF. So anyway, I met both of them, and I gave Dave all my data, all my briefing information, and he took that, ran with it, and he found everything. George Bush.
So I'm not sure how true this is. David Grusch took his information, and that's how he found all his information. I think that is partially true in the smallest sense. Maybe the information was useful, right? But Eric Davis, goddamn, out here providing all this information. So Eric Davis is connected to Hal Puthoff, so this is like a whole circle being formed here. Let me know what you think about all these people collaborating on this type of thing.
When he was the CIA director, he was given some pretty spectacular information about a major UAP event took place in the early 60s, and Bush's eyes lit up, and this is what he told me. He said, "What are you talking about?" The Pentagon liaison officer told him all about it. He said, "Are you kidding me? There's a there?" Yeah. And he said, "Absolutely." And he said, "Well, I want to see the evidence." And the evidence was in the form of documentation, but the film was the primary thing.
So now check out my main man, Jesse Michaels, going into it over what we've just been speaking about the videos I'm showing you, and Eric Davis in general, okay? So Jesse Michaels always goes deep. Check this out.
This conversation wouldn't have been possible without my technical correspondent, pseudonymously named Jack, or Missile Man, on Twitter. Jack has over 15 years of experience in defense and aerospace, and holds a very strong background in mathematics, materials R&D, and
this guy looks like the Nazis' perfect fucking soldier, right? Blue eyes, blonde hair, seems like an army guy. Jesus. So fucking Hitler would have loved this guy, right? And as you know, the Americans sent Project High Jump, what the fuck was it called? Where they stole all these Nazi scientists that were really knowledgeable on almost everything. They were really great engineers, right? And they stole a lot of these scientists and engineers, etc., from the Nazi skunk works. I can't remember what it was called, but I know there was one. And they stole this technology, the scientists, all this stuff, and yeah, maybe some of the breeded humans, as the Nazis would have wanted, a perfect race, right? So this guy seems like a perfect candidate for that. Not sure what his lineage is, but just mentioning it, right?
Physics. For now, he's chosen to remain pseudonymous due to his work in sensitive areas of national security. Jack and I are going to be starting a technical series together on UFO physics. It's going to be an extremely deep dive on how UFOs fly, the exotic principles they employ, and materials they use.
So this missile man is a interesting figure, right? He's been seen in a lot of recent happenings, interviews, videos with notable figures, and it was assumed that he must be part of something more, and it turns out to be true. He is a credible person, seemingly so, and yeah, we're gonna be checking out this missile man, new figure, new puzzle piece, etc. And we're gonna be putting all the puzzle pieces together, guys. Make sure you subscribe, notifications on. We do the updates as they happen, so you'll always be informed.
Like when you walked away, right, and Eric Davis went right and y'all went left, what was like the first thought y'all had? Like, I'm sure there was like, oh, remember he said that, like, what was some of the things y'all were like excited that he had mentioned?
Yeah, there was definitely like hooting and hollering and high fives, and like we couldn't believe that had just happened. It was pretty amazing. What jumped out at me was the raw conversation about talking to HW, because somewhere back in the record, in an interview somewhere, he had mentioned that he talked to HW Bush about the existence of the program, but the detail that HW got read in sort of by accident by his DoD liaison officer, who thought that CIA already read him in the process of being selected as director, and the fact that he was not told about it again later when he became president, that lends credence to a lot of theories that presidents are not told, or they're told as little as possible. And on that note, what will serve as a really great like appendix to the Davis interview that we did is when the Davis and Kirk McConnell videos go up from Seoul, where they appeared together on stage. That will be really good, because there's some complimentary questions that were asked of Kirk McConnell and of Davis while they were on stage. And I wrote a couple of questions that other interviewers took up to the stage to ask about different things. And one of those being this question of how much are presidents told.
And wasn't something mentioned like they breached whatever object this was to the middle, to the core, whatever? I wonder if it was an egg. Do you remember? Was it Hal Puthoff that said that? I can't even remember who was the fucker that said this, but I think it's another one. I can't remember his name, but I know he's tied with Jeremy Corbell, and I think Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp was pushing this guy when they got this information. So let me know what you think, or tell me the name if you can remember this time period. Yeah, we've been doing this for a while. Guys, make sure you share this video, okay? We're trying to grow this, and yeah, check out this next part.
It's been pretty clear from people like Jim Lukowski and President.
Okay, there we go. We were just reminded. Jim Lukowski. Okay, that was the guy. The guy that looks like he works at a butcher shop, right? Jim Lukowski. Really interesting individual. He is like a fucking Nazi's dream, right? He's so proper and upright, and but he doesn't want to reveal anything or a lot of things because of national security, quote unquote, again, right? So yeah, but he's a very interesting individual. I'd love to know more, but he's not willing. But let's see if we can put some of these things together. And Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp always pushing this guy to bring out more stuff to know. But yeah, he's pushed back. But yeah, we've been pretty successful in getting some stuff out. And with time, a lot of details come out, new details, and you start putting a much larger picture together, right?
4-star admiral, general, 3-star admiral, colonels, corporate vice presidents who've either been briefed on it directly or had worked on it directly, that it is of non-human origin. It's very clear. There's no ambiguity. So I talked to the program people themselves at one particular well-known aerospace company. And that was one of the things that gobsmacked me is this is not a myth. This is not people writing UFO books about the topic like Roswell crash and Del Rio, Texas, and Lonnie Zamora and Bette Waters. There's a there. And these people are not dumb. They're not putting out BS. I was representing the Defense Intelligence Agency at the time, so they're not allowed to give me BS. And so definitely real. The descriptions I've received, foreign intelligence I've been exposed to involving this topic in foreign countries is pretty stark, including photographs I've seen, reports I've seen, and lab testing of materials that have been recovered.